Hey everybody, what's up? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. All right, I'm looking at the High Priestess and I'm also looking at Six of Wands. With High Priestess and Six of Wands, I feel very much like you are following your intuition, like you are receiving messages beyond that you are actually acting on them too. When I see High Priestess, it generally feels like stuff is coming up for you to recognize. There are things that your higher self is communicating with you. And this can be stuff that you really have to look within in order to hear these things. Having Six of Wands next to it, it feels like it may not have been easy for you to listen to your intuition. It may not have been easy for you to follow that. It may not have been easy for you to hear it. Nonetheless, you did. And then Six of Wands feels like some type of effort that was put in for you to follow through on what this is that you were feeling, picking up on, receiving. Ultimately, that you trusted yourself. I'm seeing Eight of Swords and I'm seeing King of Pentacles. I want to clarify Eight of Swords and see what this is about. Okay. So there's something that you have going on, something that you've had going on. There can be a little bit of a disruption here. King of Pentacles is that part of us that we have something to do, we have somewhere to go, we have a job to do, something to show up for. When it comes to the responsibility that we have, maybe there's something going on here that feels like it complicates things a bit. Like concern about some area of your life where something has gotten complicated now. This can be something too that you're overthinking a bit and maybe like slightly out of touch because of being too far in the air energy here. Which is like a funny thing because over here with High Priestess and Six of Wands, I feel like this is showing that you do know how to get in touch and you do know how to listen and you do know how to connect with your higher self and that intuitive wisdom that you have and to follow through on it. Now over here with this thing connected with the King of Pentacles, I feel kind of like that type of energy is needed here, but it can be something that you feel like you're so far up in your thoughts about this that you can feel a bit disconnected from. I feel kind of like something is collapsing, but it's something that's meant to collapse because I'm seeing it be connected with the devil. This could be something that you didn't want to happen. When we have King of Pentacles, this is that part of us that recognizes that your energy and your time is a resource and you want it to be well spent. And so if something is going on and possibly something is even collapsing that you did put your time and energy into, this can be something that feels a little bit unsettling. However, because I'm seeing the devil be connected with it, this would mean that this will only be the case if something really does need to be taken apart here. Because the Tower only touches things that are meant to sort of decompose at this point, meant to come apart. I feel even like some type of bondage is being broken. Like maybe when this is going on, you can possibly cling to something that feels familiar, but you can also feel like it's not really what you're looking for on a deeper level. You know when something's going on and it feels kind of destabilizing, and so we look for that comfort? I wonder if the devil is connected with that for you, but it can also be something that feels like a very expensive compromise to be making if you were to do that. Seeing you be going through an upgrade, a spiritual upgrade. So that means that's why this is falling away now at this point. It just can't hold as far as where you are with things. That doesn't mean that there's not a part of you that's attached to this, though. The part of you that is the King of Pentacles does seem attached to it. But this is for your best. This is the best thing for you. At this stage in the game, with what's taking place, this feels like a connection is being made. Consciously, there's a connection that's being made, and it can be these like different parts of you that sort of orbit one another, that are making contact with one another, and so that information is passed between them. And so it makes this energy even stronger within you. And as it is elevating, it feels like something else is crumbling, just because it can't be maintained at that frequency anymore. But there can be a part of you that's like, well, I have to give this up now, or I have to shed this, or I have to allow this process to be what it's going to be. Even if you're not actively dropping something, and it feels more on an internal level, this can be a feeling of needing to allow this to play out in the way that it's going to without getting in the way of this. Because whatever tower and devil is, it feels like it does need to be deconstructed at this point, and that's why this is happening. Can be feeling protective of yourself. I think protective of that part of you that feels... It's the part of you that is most sensitive, most tapped in, but can also be most vulnerable as well. I'm seeing there be a feeling protective over that part of yourself. To not let anything maybe influence you in a way that you don't want. Maybe this is even something that you had to protect the integrity of it, but I see it being more so like like having to trust yourself and stay in that place of trust with yourself and not let anything get in the way of that, like not let anything like manipulate you out of that. Okay, so this is a process that you are, whatever this is, you're heavily involved in it, is what I'm seeing. And it can feel like a time when maybe a lot of things are going out the window. Feeling conflicted, working through it. Learning from what you're doing. Things sort of collapsing a bit. Yeah, I feel like you're seeing something that's going on, but it can be kind of jarring, this experience that's happening. It's like you're maybe seeing something sort of collapse, like right in front of your face. I kind of get that from this. And it can be just something very abrupt that's happening right in front of you that you're just watching going on. When it comes to the ways that you've been investing in yourself and your path, feels like what's happening is something that there's like some type of chaos or disruption that's breaking out a bit here. And there can be a part of you that feels a little bit stuck just because of what you've been doing and what this may mean for what's going to be happening moving forward. But there's something here that's really important about you standing your ground. Seeing Seven of Swords or Seven of Wands and Six of Wands feels like you may have been challenged. You have to stand your ground, and that's how you come out on top of this situation. But it may not be easy to do, because the High Priestess is the part of you that really does have all of that divine wisdom. But it's also that part of you that can potentially be manipulated, especially by attachment. I'm looking at the Devil over here. So the Devil is like stuff that can sort of seduce you into not trusting yourself, not trusting this part of yourself. And this part of yourself, it does not scream in your face. This is a very subtle part of you that communicates with you. The gift that you have with the connection to this energy of the High Priestess. The Devil is going to be something that comes through and challenges that, but you have to stand your ground here and not... It feels like being on the fence and you get to sort of choose. I feel kind of too like there can be bigger work that's going on here that you've been working on. And so you have that's happening. And also there can be an investment right now that's going through, an investment of yours that's going through a major tower right now. And this can be something that like you really did put a lot of energy into, and it's sort of there doing its thing within your life. And I feel like the tower has to do with that. So this can be like, I'm building, and now this tower is coming through and the whole thing is collapsing. It's just, the whole thing is being taken apart, dug up completely. How much is the tower going to impact this? So yeah, when you have something that you have going on where there's an intention, or there's like a hope at least that this is going to produce something valuable within your life, and you're like part of the way through the process, but it hasn't completed, and now there's a deconstructing that's happening, it can feel very destabilizing at that point. And so you can feel conflicted because of that, because there can be a part of you that's like, well, I spent all this time, do I just keep doing it? But having the devil involved, I almost feel like your higher self is coming through and saying something is rotten here, and you need to allow it to be taken away now. At this point, you need to allow the tower to do its thing. But I almost feel like you could possibly get in the way, like you could possibly step in the way and not have the tower totally do its thing. System collapse. This feels too like making sure you're not fighting for the wrong reasons with the King of Pentacles over here, because this really, King of Pentacles can be that part of you that like this is an investment that's not meant to be in your life in this way. But King of Pentacles can be that part of you that's like, but I invested in it, like I want to see this through, even though Tower is coming through and saying something's wrong with it. But there can be a part of you that that may not want to let that go, because we're not always so trusting of the process. And that can be King of Pentacles, that part of us that is the King of Pentacles, because all of us can be the King of Pentacles. So it's that part of us that doesn't feel trusting of the process of what's taking place, and can feel like, look at all of this work that I've done. It's all like, this is happening. It's like just something feeling like it's getting destroyed. But the thing with the Tower is that this isn't just by chance. This isn't randomly you've just been hit with a spot of bad luck or something like that. Tower comes through to say this is not meant to be in your hands in this way anymore. It's not meant to be in your life in this way anymore. So Tower is coming through and doing its thing. And this is meant to help you. The Tower kind of reminds me of an eclipse energy, where it's here to put you on track. And sometimes can do so a bit abrasively, and we have to trust that the energy is aligned with our highest good. It feels like the only thing that can get in the way of this is the devil, and this is going to be an attachment to something that doesn't allow your truth here to prevail through the cycle. The devil will really have you believing that you need something externally. It will come through in that way, at a very steep price. And it feels like the Tower is happening to sort of showcase that. It can be something that grabs hold and attempts to take root and sort of overpowers if we give authority to that energy rather than to ourselves. And we give that authority over our self-trust. This looks like it may hit you actually on more of an emotional level. I'm seeing that you're gonna come out of this situation. This Six of Wands, and I was seeing it in the other deck too. It's not necessarily probably for most of you going to be easy to move through this. At the same time, I really am seeing you prevail through this process, that this isn't going to be getting in your way anymore. But it feels kind of like you have to show up and you have to do something here. Like this is action needed on your part. Going back and forth with this part of you that may be like trying not to, I just get it, like this feeling with the King of Pentacles as this part of you that may be trying to get in the way of the Tower doing what it needs to do here. This would mean keeping something together, keeping something standing that's not meant to be kept standing. So the Tower is coming through and saying, thank you, I will take this now. And it pulls out all the rotten pieces of something. That's what the Tower does. It cleanses. But this part of you that is the King of Pentacles can be like, no, I want to keep it all. Like, I want to be surrounded by my beautiful trash. Like, it really can be that energy when you are in the shadow side of the King of Pentacles, which I'm saying because we also have the Devil here. So this can be like, no, I want to keep it. But then what's going to happen is that it's going to infect the rest of everything else. And so this needs to be taking the rotten parts out of it. And so allow the Tower to do its thing here. Otherwise, it's going to take a hold and the Tower is going to come through again, and it's going to leave much less than it will now at this point. And so it's better to just let this happen now. But yeah, there's a part of you that may be really trying not to allow this to happen, but then the part of you that is the High Priestess is like, this must be. That's the part of you that knows what's going on. This is, High Priestess is the part of you that is tuned into your divine wisdom. This is not a part of you that's motivated by fear. This is not a part of you that's motivated by anxiety. This is the part of you that is that deep inner knowing that you have. And so sees the Tower going on and says, this is what's meant to be happening right now. Otherwise, it wouldn't be happening. But the part of you that is the King of Pentacles, where we're attached to these earthly things, can be attempting to say otherwise. And it feels like how I said in the beginning, having Eight of Swords and having King of Pentacles there, this is, King of Pentacles is fear motivated right now, anxiety motivated. Like, no, I don't want this to happen. This can't be collapsing. What am I going to do? But out of touch, coming from a place that is out of touch. And the High Priestess is the one that looks at this and says, it's meant to be. This is meant to be. And knowing and trusting that part of yourself and not giving into the fear when you don't need to be on that side of things, unless you want to, but it's really just what you prefer. But I do definitely get the High Priestess coming through and being like, take it easy, chill, you don't need to, like, everything is okay here. Everything is happening as planned. We are right on time. But yeah, that part of you that's the King of Pentacles is definitely sweating a bit here. And I think this is about checking in with that part of you, understanding the motivations of that archetype, and seeing that this is coming from a place of anxiety, and that it's not going to be giving you good advice if it's coming from a place of anxiety. So you can listen to the High Priestess instead, if you so choose. King of Pentacles, when King of Pentacles is grounded, will be in a place of agreeance with the High Priestess. But King of Pentacles is clearly not in a grounded place right now. We have Eight of Swords next to it. And so this is the part of you that will really start worrying about things when the High Priestess is over here not feeling that, giving you reassurance instead. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.